So, as MC Hammer would say, break it down. Me, C Hammer. Um, break it down. Basically, I'm building Europe first. I get Europe almost done. It's beautiful. It's perfect. It's gorgeous. It's everything it's supposed to be. I have a white kingdom over there. I decided to start building this the other continent, and I'm building that continent. It's going along fine. The USers, or what is America, preemptively strikes Egypt, or Egypt basically. But they blame the Libyans and Russia, which also has nuclear missiles, but they never fired. So they blame Russia for that. But the missiles actually come from what is the U.S. or the United States, and it's basically the White House and basically JFK. So basically, what is America preemptively nukes Egypt and whatever, but blames Russia, which is Libya. Okay, and attacks Libya, saying blah blah blah. You nuked Cairo. You nuked the White Kingdom in Cairo. But those missiles are all in their silo, and they didn't fire. So, and they actually tried to nuke Russia, but Russia has a defense system. I don't know, and that's the Libyans basically, or sorry about that. But they blame the Libyans, and they try and go seek vengeance. I will stop you. But it's actually the U.S. or something like that. Okay, then and they take over Russia or something like that, and then they nuke me in Russia in 1850. Then I am. It takes 150 million years, and I am saved, and then or brought back, and then to go to Abraham Lincoln's house, which is not the White House, but a White House that looks very nice, but somewhere else. Okay, and there's a party, and I'm taken upstairs. Blah blah blah. I don't get to enjoy the party or anything, or even meet anyone. I just go upstairs and basically. I'm about 4 foot tall, and Abraham Lincoln is over me saying how he's going to be getting dressed by the time they find the body doing some public speaking in some place, Gettysburg, or he's going to be touring one of my factories. Okay, and they do this thing where they say he adopted me, and I will carry. What public speaking he's saying is, I will carry on in his name as his adopted father, as he would want me to do, I'm sure. And the same night, about 50 other people also contract some disease from the mosquitoes or something like that and die in the town or something like that. I'm either poisoned or I'm given some disease. I think I was given both, but the disease wasn't mature. I shouldn't have died from the disease. I actually died from the poison or something. I don't know. They found a prick mark in my body or something. But Abraham Lincoln says he adopted a black boy, not a white boy. Not me. So anyway, though, so they try and confuse it there. Okay, so Abraham Lincoln goes around and basically he's doing something with some other black people, and they're living it up large. Yeah, basically he's cruising on my ships, and pretty much they're just melting down all the gold. I think all the gold railings, and they strip all the gold off the trains. Like I said, all my trains had gold on them and silver. And everything was ornamental and beautiful and nice. It was the most beautiful, gorgeous trains and most beautiful, gorgeous everything. Silver bells, gold light posts, silver light posts. Everything's beautiful, gorgeous, perfect. Anyway, so the black people just go around tearing down all the gold and silver and stuff like that. And melting it down for coins or something. I don't really know. Trying to become mayor. Like, that's how that swastika bell gets in that one town. There was a gold bell or a silver bell in the town. Some guy became mayor, ripped down the silver gold bell, melted it down, and then and it was only like, it was some percentage of gold or silver, and put that swastika bell in its place. So, and basically a bunch of people just become mayors for towns, and then as mayor, they send their crews around taking down all the light poles to melt down all the gold or silver and turn it into coins, I think. There's only a couple towns that were gold and silver. I used to have gold and silver towns, where the light posts were gold or silver. Very stylized, very beautiful. And they basically just rip it all down and melt it down, so into coins and spend it. And then other people have money and they don't have money. So anyway, and then after that, like I said, and I'm dead again. And then eventually I come back again as Brian, I guess, or something like that. somewhere around in there. But like I said, so anyway, yeah. So anyway, meanwhile, Brian is supposed to be like, and meanwhile, Rick Bush is basically getting money, and Rodney were getting money basically for entertainment, or they're using my expense account. So yeah, like I said, I had a account or a trust fund with millions upon like $100 million in it or something like that, a lot of money for my vacation. And basically, they take that money and they're spending it and blah blah blah, and also meanwhile fucking with me, trying to keep me down or something. I don't know. I don't give a fuck. Realistically, Rodney and Rick Bush should be shot. So anyway. Um, Anyway, and using the money, my entertainment money, to entertain me, and they're like, "We're entertaining him, we're entertaining him," and what they're actually doing is, of course, fucking with me and paying people to fuck with me, and upset me and hurt me. And I fire them at some point in time, and even exile them from my country, so they go somewhere else for a while, and then they come back. I sentence Rodney to 99 years in jail, or 100 years in jail, or 30. No, I sentenced Rodney to 30 some years in jail, and Rick Bush I sentenced to like 70 years in jail or something like that, because he's the most what's called. And the judge also agrees with me, and so does the council, and they're sentenced for their part in everything. So anyway. And they're like, you can't do that, blah, 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 but I can. And I do. So they're sentenced to 30 years and 90 years. And Rick Bush the whole time basically says, it was all Rodney. Rodney had the whole plan. It was all him. Or something like that. Anyway. And he basically tries to make it look like Rodney was the person. And Rick Bush was the one that didn't really want to do it. He knew it was a bad idea, blah, blah, blah. But it was actually Rick Bush the whole time. So. Anyway, or something like that. He was the mastermind, smarter than average bear. He was like, Rodney, relax. We're going to get away with this. But they weren't. So anyway, and they're sentenced to a long time in jail. And dishonorably discharged. Like I say, Rodney was cadet first class. Which actually just means, like a lot of people say, first class means that's the top rank. It's like, no, first class means you were the first class that was ever trained. And really doesn't have a rank. Just means it's the first class. So there's second class, third class, fourth class, fifth class, sixth class, second class, 28th class, 30th class of basically my military or whatever, my people. Going to school and getting trained and being pushed out the door into the world. So anyway, and Rodney's gonna, well, you gotta beat them down before you bring them back up. You gotta break people down and raise them back up, and that doesn't really work in the military. Breaking people down doesn't really do anything other than piss them off, or whatever. And like I said, hazing actually starts in Harvard and Yale, or in the frat groups. That's where the hazing actually starts. Basically, if you went to school at Harvard or Yale, basically they would literally break you down and bring you back up. But realistically, they were just breaking you down. So really, there was no bringing back up involved. So basically, getting you to try and be their little bitch, basically. And then that goes to basically West Mountain College and stuff like that, pretty much. So anyway, and like I said, mostly they're just hazing people, and pretty much they're mostly just being mean to the girls, trying to get the girls out of the military, trying to get the girls out of government. They're basically just hazing the women mostly. They do some hazing with men, but mostly it's the women that they're hazing, and realistically, by hazing I mean rape. So anyway, so a bunch of pathetic piece of shit people that really, couldn't even get a date even if they wanted to, because they don't have any money, they don't have anything, and they're basically just shit people doing shit things. So anyway, and this leads to bigger shit things, and bigger shit things, and even bigger shit things, and then eventually they realize who I truly was. And eventually, and somewhere around 1950 or so, or 1940 or so, they finally get me, tie me in a chair, and they're expecting me to be dead. And they're celebrating. Jimmy Carter was there. A few of the presidents was there. Clinton was not there, by the way. Nor was Reagan, I don't think. But a bunch of these people walk in, and these are the people that did it to me. And I was about to die because there's no laws in Vietnam, don't you see? And then we get into whether or not American laws or my laws in my military actually are valid on my own military bases, which I say that they are. You can't execute, and I was being executed as a prisoner or something, a prisoner of war, and it's like, a prisoner of war of my own country? But supposedly they changed the name of America or something like that. It reads off basically like a soap opera. It's almost, yeah, like it's almost funny. Anyway, I call in an airstrike nearby. I think they had me at a mansion, or they had me at the base, but they go to a mansion or something. I call in an airstrike. I think maybe at the mansion. I'm not exactly sure. Basically, I alert, or I'm in communication with one of my officers, and basically call an airstrike on my position or nearby my position. Because people are wondering where I am in the world, and I'm like, well, just call an airstrike right on top of me or nearby me. That'll light it up. Light it up! Something that they didn't understand is that the American president is always in communication with his people, with his military. And I'm usually in communication with my life forms. So, and was tracked even though I was, like other people didn't know where I was in the universe. But my people always knew where I was. My life forms always tracked me. Always tracked me. Through time and space and... what's it called? So, like I said, it doesn't even matter what my name is. I could be Hembrick Blum Blum Blum. Bim Bam Boom. Bim Mom Ma. It wouldn't matter. I'm still me. So, yeah. So no matter what I look like, no matter where I am, even if I was a tree for 100 years, people be like, well, he's still a tree. Go talk to him. So, I'd say when you're the creator of whole stars and star systems and galaxies and life chains, when you've actually created some of the first base life forms and been a father to 400 or so other life forms, even life forms that you had nothing to do with, you were just found them in the galaxy somewhere, and you're like, oh, come with me, like I have. I did. I had a ship, and I like to cruise around. Like I said, on many spaceships, you had to pay a fee or whatever. I would allow people to just kick it with me, just because, hey, I'm your creator. Let's go for a ride. I set the rates for the ship that I occupy. So, anyway, so I picked up people from the Earth 3 times about, and took them on an epic space cruise. We invented some games because it's really boring in space and stuff like that. Like I say, even if you call yourself China, America, whatever, Fred. We're Fred. And one time a group said, we're the people of Fred. I don't know if they were being serious, but I mean, a lot of people were like that. It's like, you're Fred people. It's like, no, you're humans. You're Lucifer Starline people. Regardless. All humans, all endoskeleton life forms are Lucifer Starline people. All 1.5s are Lucifer Starline people. Life forms. I have this whole group that's Lucifer Starline. Many people researched it, found it out, figured it out, tracked it, all throughout the universe. Your people go here, then they go there, then go there, and then you went there, and you went. People, there's nothing but time in space and existence. Nothing but time to sit around and do absolutely nothing but, what's that? Who's that? Shut up, that's the creator! Don't ask questions. So anyway, like I said, comical, funny, ridiculous, strange, shocking, scary. Like I said, the worst part was when the black people were doing the human wave things, because the men stayed behind to defend the towns. But the best part was I got to use sharks. I got to use sharks. Like, I am so fucking epic. I used sharks one time. I used alligators another time. Like, one time I used the sharks. Another time I knew my people were going to be hunted down, so my people went into the swamp and stayed there or something like that. Like I said, and they took heavy losses, blah 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 blah, and captured my people. And then my other people who knew about the swamp went into the swamp and basically went past the alligators and didn't have a problem. So, anyway, you know. Apparently, they didn't know alligators live in swampland or something like that, and so they were just wading in, trying to attack me and my people, or my people there. And there's alligators in the swamps. So, if they had read a book or done any research at all, they would have known that there were alligators in the swamps and not to go in there. But they didn't, and they went in, and they were attacked by the alligators. Just like the sharks. Like I said, if you have 500 people or 1,000 people swimming across a channel, it's basically like a feeding frenzy for sharks. They'll come up and grab one or two or three or four or five. They counted 150 losses or something like that, or 200 men died from shark attack. They would just bite and then swim off. But that's enough to gash your leg and basically cause hemorrhaging and bleeding. So those black people, and there's some white people there. The black people were having some white people lead them in war. Later on, probably turn around, I don't know. There's some token white people there. And they were attacking Spain. So, anyway, the actual course of events on this planet, I knew and played a very big role in. So, anyway, who else were you going to ask? Tear it down! Burn it down! Anyway, like I said, the black people were saying, it's Bentley for black. Black for Bentley. Black Bentleys. Or something like that. Or whatever. Some black guy was trying to say he owned the Bentley company or something like that. He doesn't. He didn't. He never did. Bentley is for Brian. Or B. It's my B car. I had L car and B car. I had A car and C car. So, being the actual mining company and the actual fabrication company of things means you get to name it and decide what's built. I was just using all my steel or metal that was lying around. What else am I going to do with it? And what was it? So I had the first air-conditioned car and all kinds of stuff. Anyway, it doesn't really matter. It sold really well. I only made like a little bit, like $50 a car or something like that. I was going to sell them for like $300, and they were selling them for $6,000 or $1,000. I don't know, some ridiculous amount. So anyway, they're only $300 or $400 cars, really. $600 at most. So anyway, yeah, the first Bentleys or whatever. They're what I call bicycle cars, because they use bicycle spokes and they're really super light and all that other stuff. So they were just a cheap, easy car that didn't use a lot of steel and was really easy to make and would run. Realistically, I was saying that they needed a catalytic converter and all that kind of stuff, but a lot of people were like, no, and I was like, well, there's probably not going to be that many of them driving around, so okay. So, anyway, that's what I called. Anyway, a lot of people are like, it was the first cars, the first driving cars. It's like, they're bicycle cars. What are you talking about? Like I told Rodney, I'm from an advanced race of life forms. And I have advanced life form types that I created that are in the universe. And were here long before. I'm their creator. I'm not just the creator of the humans, or like when you create something, it knows you. They knew me for a very, 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 very long time. I was surprised that they could actually get anyone to actually not know me. And we segue into the whole future versus the past, which doesn't really work because there's a lot of past and it's really advanced. And people were like, well, he's got the past locked down pretty tightly. The past, basically at some point in time, just started turning me into a military enclave. So if anyone from the future went back to said time, basically, bloop. Are they going to keep trying? I guess so. So we just put a whole bunch of military bases around with weapons that would automatically shoot anything that comes into existence or appears that isn't whatever. I don't know. My children were doing it. So. Because the future basically just attacks the past or something, or something stupid like that or weird. But you can't really kill off the past because there wouldn't be a future. So. Anyway, like I say, I don't care. The young kids were managing it. They're like, playtime. So as the future basically tries to... Raindrops keep falling on my head. So like I say, they just keep... It was a very big problem for a while. Bunch of crazy, unexisting, suicidal people trying to unexist themselves, basically. It's like, you can't kill him, you know it. There's nothing you can do. And you can't stop people from knowing who he was, because he actually literally created them right after he actually raised them up right after he created them. So you can't kill him, you can't kill them, because they lead to your own existence. So what are you going to do? Nothing. Looks stupid, like they said, well, we feel like we were a bunch of people with our dicks, holding our dicks right here. Like, well, I even tried to warn you. I said, don't follow false leaders, false gods. Still did it. Anyway, yeah. Yeah, what am I supposed to do? I'm 900 trillion years old and just like... Meanwhile, Rodney is trying to do the, Rosalie's the queen, she leads all. Rosalie was never a queen. At least not by me. She's Rodney's whatever queen. And has no power and no authority, just like Rodney. I was just nice and named a car Rosalie and a ship Rosalie and blah blah blah. And couple ships Rodney. But really just trying to be nice to someone. So, sorry. Anyway, I guess that's why they renamed them the Nelson class ships. Underwear up. And Rodney's tidy whities. So anyway, yeah. Yeah, I mean, what am I supposed to do? Shoot Rodney in the head? Even told him, you're about to be stupid, you're about to get a lot of people killed for no reason. Still did it. Like, there's probably so many people in existence that are just like... They even tried to go after poor Karen before she even knew me. I heard Karen. They're talking about this guy, they know this guy, and I'm going to meet this guy, but I don't know who he is, and they want to know who he is, blah, 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 blah. Poor Karen. Leave her alone, she's no one. They hired her. They paid her to get to know me. She never knew me. She doesn't know about me. She doesn't know anything about me. She never knew me. They went and grabbed her before I ever met her. I had her get to know me, so... And it's part of someone else's sick, twisted, stupid plan. In the saga of epic stupidity! Dun dun dun! So yeah. It's an old story. Eventually they were trying to hostage tie up the AI and try and, they eventually fitted blast charges to the AI power sources and was basically threatening the AI computers that if they didn't play ball or they didn't do whatever, that they would destroy them or flash fry their crystals or whatever, blah blah blah, and trying to force sentient AI ships to go faster than the speed of light or something like that, or do time travel for them. So yeah, that was, I guess, Rick Bush. I was pissed off at Rick Bush. That's Rick Bush's like ultimate plan. It's like, I don't know how long that lasted. It's like, they're just gonna eventually stop you from being epic stupid. Like Rick Bush doesn't have any power or any authority. He doesn't have any money. The Jehovah's Witnesses were basically just living. They don't have any money. They don't own any property. They're just trying to say that they own, and realistically, it all goes down to Rodney and Rosalie saying that he's our son, and therefore we have right to the property and money, and which is just like Abraham Lincoln saying, he's my adopted son, and I have right to his property and factories, and that didn't work either. So, nor did the nuking. So, yeah. I don't really like, And then they're trying to say that we'll kill him if we don't get blah blah blah. It's like I'm the creator of the stars and the life form types for which you occupy and are. They're probably gonna figure it out and find me. I'll probably live. Don't worry about me. Shoot away. It's like I've been saved like 5 or 6 times. Those are delusions, Brian. No, they're not. Look, I'm talking to myself. Like seriously, I'm just saying what they would say. I mean, Rodney fucked with me forever. So, like I say, like they had a whole small existence without Brian, without me telling you. Anyway, whatever. I don't care. It's like, fuck. About the only thing, like I said, the only thing I didn't do was basically be like, suck my dick. Oh. Do the parasite, do the parasite. About the only thing I didn't do was that. And get really high and act all stupid. Like, that's the only thing I didn't do. Everything else. So, I say, they're in a bit over their head with this one. So anyway, yeah. Now they just do stupid shit and whatever. Just run around like idiots, basically. I think the Irish or one of these groups was going to deal with some things or something like that. I don't know. Like I don't really care. The black people have been lying about everything, of course, saying that they oppressed us. Oh, we're oppressed. Oh, we're oppressed. Truth was they were trying to oppress everyone, and realistically, they had to deal with either Rodney or Rick Bush or Trumpy or someone or some idiot, and basically it's all basically and realistically the black people, the whole race has this whole plan where they're going to kill off all the white people and it's just going to be black and cream colored people or something like that, some stupid dream like that. They got pretty far with that one and almost did it, but they weren't able to do it. Like I said, the black people were trying to make me black and I was like, nope, not going to be black. And the Japanese were like, we take care of you a long time or forever, we love you, and they wanted to make me Japanese or Oriental, and I was like, I love you and thank you so much. Like I say, China and Japan and Asians, I love you. You're so sweet and so nice and so good and so adorable. And you have always been so amazing and one of my favorites. But I politely declined and said, I want to look like the way I want to look like. Sorry. Like, I love you, but this is how I look. This is the way I look. I don't want to switch bodies or change or be different. I mean, I don't want to be in someone else's body or look like any other way. This is the way I look. Accept it. Accept me for who I am. I'm Lusifer Starline. This is my first body and only body I will ever exist in. I'm not going to change bodies. I'm not going to change my look so I can get more women. I might get a few more muscles though. I could do with a few more muscles, but that's about it. This is me. Lovable, dorky, whatever. Anyway, so. Accept me for who I am, Matt. Accept me for who I am. Anyway, Rodney and Rick Bush were dishonorably discharged and should have spent quite a long time in jail, and I think they originally did. Rick Bush got out and started doing something or other, blah, blah, I don't know. I don't really care. Like, they're Doesn't matter to me. But my military kicked them both out. They were fired. So, actions unbecoming an officer, I believe the term was. And Rodney went to jail for 30 or 60 years, and Rick Bush got out after like 15 or 20 years and promised to get Rodney out, but didn't really do anything about it. Or something like that. I don't really know. They had this whole like lovers quarrel thing, or whatever thing, going. Rick Bush originally spent 90 years trying to figure things out, trying to figure out Starfleet, trying to figure out this, trying to figure out that, trying to get technology, whatever, and died at the age of 80 or something like that. Last thing I see of him, he's shaking his fist at a council board. That. So, anyway, I knew quite a few of the people that were around me and where their existences began and end or whatever. It doesn't matter. It's like, well, whatever. It's not even worth thinking about, really. They're stupid. Like I said, the beads in the crops. One group that I helped and educated. Like I said, a lot of people, the black people have a lot of deals with other people, and they don't realize that those deals will not be honored. They basically just, they have no say-so in anything. A lot of people have been pretending to do this, pretending to do that. They have no say-so in anything. So I don't really care. It's like, it's always my planet. It's always going to be my planet. It's been my planet and my star system for hundreds of trillions of years and always will be. And I don't even care. It's like, I built half the universe. 1/4. Some people say I led to the whole universe, but I say it's only about a third or a quarter by my estimates that were actually me or related to me. I don't know, a bunch of people were doing all this time, whatever, blah, 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 trying to create blah, 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 so they could blah, 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 paradox, blah, blah. It never worked. It never works. That's why I'm still here. You know, it's funny to live 150 trillion years or 150 million years to have never lived it at all or to accomplish nothing. I don't know. Go figure. I just wandered around forever. Occasionally I'd fly by Sol System or fly by here, just say hello. I'd fly off. Go around some more. Just going the slow way around the universe. In different ships. At different times. For millions upon trillions of years. Earth would say, it's a meteorite. Try and communicate with it. To you they say a meteorite. To everyone else, like, communicate with it, communicate with it, communicate with it. Try to take it over, blah, blah. We're saying, I don't know. I don't know what the fuck these people's problems are. I was just coming by just to say hello. I do it every couple trillion years or whatever. I don't know. It's like, whatever. Bye! I'm going off with the rest of the universe that isn't fucking stupid. If we start it now, we'll get this wave going to the future, and then I don't know. Like I'm not the one with the crazy fucking plans. I don't do the little play the game, maneuvering. You gotta play the game. It's like I'm too old for this. Shrug. The resonance of the sound waves coming into Brian produced a temporary insanity and made him think these things. He even admits it. Starline! Starline! Where are you, Starline? Lusifer, Starline. On the count of the gunpowder. or something. How could you get so lost? My little ones.